October 2024, a critical moment in Middle East geopolitics. The region, already a tinderbox of historical tensions and modern-day rivalries, is now witnessing an unprecedented escalation between two of its most powerful nations, Iran and Israel. Iran and Israel are locked in one of the most intense escalations we've seen in years. This conflict, rooted in decades of animosity, has now reached a boiling point, threatening to destabilize not just the Middle East, but potentially the entire world. What does this mean for the region and for the world? The implications are vast and complex, involving not just military strategies, but also political alliances, economic repercussions, and humanitarian crises. This month, Iran launched hundreds of missiles at Israeli targets, claiming it was in response to high-level assassinations of key Iranian and Hezbollah officials. These missile strikes have caused significant damage and loss of life, escalating the conflict to a level not seen in recent history. The attacks, the largest in the conflict's history, managed to breach parts of Israel's famed Iron Dome defense. This defense system, which has been a cornerstone of Israel's security, was overwhelmed by the sheer volume and sophistication of the Iranian missile barrage. Israel retaliated swiftly, targeting strategic sites in Iran and warning of even harsher responses. The Israeli airstrikes have been precise and devastating, aimed at crippling Iran's military infrastructure and deterring further aggression. The impact isn't limited to just Israel and Iran. The entire Middle East is on edge, with neighboring countries bracing for potential spillover effects. The geopolitical landscape is shifting rapidly, and the stakes have never been higher. Iranian-backed groups in Iraq have threatened to target American forces if the U.S. supports Israel's strikes on Iran. This adds another layer of complexity to the conflict, as American troops in the region find themselves in the crosshairs. Meanwhile, Hezbollah in Lebanon has clashed with Israeli forces, complicating an already volatile situation. These skirmishes along the Lebanese border could easily escalate into a broader conflict, drawing in more regional players. Washington has condemned Iran's missile strikes, pledging support for Israel. The U.S. administration has reiterated its commitment to Israel's security, but also faces the challenge of managing its own strategic interests in the region. But global leaders are urging restraint, fearing an all-out war that could drag in neighboring nations. Diplomatic efforts are underway to de-escalate the situation, but the path to peace is fraught with obstacles. With Israel vowing more intense retaliation and Iran promising to respond in kind, the question remains: how far will this conflict escalate? Both nations are preparing for a prolonged confrontation, and the international community watches with bated breath. And what could it mean for international stability? The ripple effects of this conflict are already being felt in global markets, with oil prices soaring and stock markets reacting to the uncertainty. The economic impact could be severe, affecting countries far beyond the Middle East. Stay tuned as we follow these critical developments. Our team of experts will continue to provide in-depth analysis and real-time updates on this unfolding story, bringing you the latest from the front lines and beyond. Like and subscribe for real-time updates on this unfolding story. Your engagement helps us bring you the most accurate and timely information on this and other critical global issues.